Hi there, my name's Ross Crawford and welcome to the Redditch Standard podcast. Once again, I'm delighted to welcome Melanie Vaughan. Now, some of you may not have known of Melanie Vaughan, but she's a school teacher at Birchinsale Middle School, and she's also a member of Friends Mtwara. You were also Redditch Ladies Circle as well, weren't you?
Yeah, now Redditch Tangent.
Now Redditch Tangent, and you're involved with Mtwara, which is Redditch's twin town, and you're here to talk about a very exciting expo which is happening here in Redditch in October. Welcome to the studio, Melanie.
Thank you very much.
Now, Redditch Rubbish Expo. Do you want to tell me about Redditch Rubbish Expo? Because I imagine a lot of people will think there's a lot of rubbish in Redditch.
Yeah, hopefully not too much. It's actually Redditch Rethinks Rubbish.
Oh, go on.
So making Redditch really think about what we are doing with not just our rubbish that we throw away, but any type of leftovers. So it's all about recycling, reusing, reducing. We're going back, I got it from Bob the Builder, trying to go back to the old-fashioned reduce, reuse. And yeah, just getting everybody involved and thinking about the children. That's where I've come in. And that's where I went from, sort of like thinking from the younger perspective. So I came up with a logo, which you'll see on our Facebook page, which was all designed for us by the children of Birchinsale, and getting everybody to think about what they're going to do with rubbish. It's at the town hall, and loads and loads of schools are involved, so it's really exciting.
Okay, and where does Mtwara come in?
Well, because we're twinned as a town with Mtwara, I had a previous conversation where I didn't know that we were twinned with anyone else. I only know that we were twinned with Mtwara. I got asked via our head teacher to get involved with linking with Mtwara because we wanted to raise awareness of our link.
We should point out that Mtwara's in Tanzania.
In Tanzania, yeah, in Africa.
East coast of Africa.
Yep.
It's thousands of miles away from Redditch.
Yeah, it is. But our students have already had a great chance. They met the Tanzanians that came over last year. They all got on board. They all loved it, and our school raised hundreds of pounds for Mtwara. And they are desperately wanting to do more. So that was me trying to think of something again. What can we do to get the kids involved, linking with Mtwara? I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to get over to Mtwara next year. And then I can bring back more knowledge than what I've got at the moment about. I haven't actually been there. A lot of our members have already been there. And I'd like to say this link's been going on for years and years and years. I am very new to this. I've come in with a bit of new blood and a bit of excitement about it, but it has been going. A couple called David and Jackie Morgan, who I need to big up because without them it would never have happened.
Right, and where does the rubbish aspect come into?
It came in because one of our members was over there a couple of years ago and she got involved in a beach clean-up, which is happening all over the world. It just shows because we do beach clean-ups here. And they did a beach clean-up over on the coast. And while she was doing a beach clean-up, they found lots and lots of rubbish that was nothing to do with Mtwara. So it obviously all come from us, not necessarily from Redditch, obviously, but from developed world. And they were having to deal with the aftermath of their rubbish, or sort of our rubbish. And they were having to deal with it as their rubbish, and it wasn't theirs. I'd like to point out that they've actually banned plastic bags over in Mtwara. It's no longer, you're not allowed any plastic over there. It's all brown bags.
Well, there's an example.
Yeah, they're one step ahead of us already.
and so you got together this idea, you had this rubbish expo, and then to rethink how we use rubbish.
Yeah, definitely. So there's lots of things. It's not just all talks. We've got a great keynote speaker coming. And he's going to do a lot of talking, but it's from my point of view, I'm trying to get the children involved. So we're doing a re-challenge, which is where any piece of rubbish can be changed, recycled into something completely different. And it's being run as a competition. And we're also doing a rubbish photography competition where anybody can take a picture of any type of rubbish and submit it, and we're running it as a joint competition with the Mtwara children from their schools entering and sending them over along with ours as well. I'd like to point out this is open to anybody. We want anybody to get involved, and they can contact me via our website, via our email address, which I'll give out later. This isn't just this is everybody. The more people we can get involved, the bigger it'll be.
That's right, and I gather that the Mayor of Redditch, Councillor Roger Bennett, he's given you a free day at the Town Hall.
He has, we're taking over.
Which is fantastic, and excuse me, and you've also got some blue chip people involved already. Inkborough Design?
Yep, Inkborough Design are doing what I've tried to call our reclaimed runway, and they are doing the children have already started making designs in fashion from anything that can be recycled, and we're going to have that on display going up and down as a proper fashion show, so something to actually come and view and watch.
That's right, because fashion is one of these things that's been held up as an example of the decadence of the West, isn't it? Because we buy things, wear them once or twice, and then throw them away. Well, at least I don't. I mean, I wear clothes to destruction, I can tell you. But that's the general feel, isn't it?
Yeah.
That we do tend to, we're a bit profligate with our fashion. And you've also got Redditch Repair Cafe. They're going to be involved as well.
Yep, that's correct.
A fantastic organisation. I've used Redditch Repair Cafe, and I can tell you they're excellent, and their tea and cake is excellent as well. You've got Refugeuse, and you've got Eco and Wise.
Yep.
And these are all going to come with lots of hints on how ordinary people have read it.
Yeah, what we're trying to do is we're trying to make it quite as interactive as possible, so that it's not boring. It's everybody can come, they can get involved. So what we're trying to do is lots of different areas. So for instance, if you're into recycling, there'll be an area where you can be shown how to make a bag from recycled materials. So they're all workshops as well, along with, so all these people are going to come with ideas to show off what they're doing. So children, it's about getting involved and having fun. It's sort of like not just sitting there listening to everything that's going on.
That's right, but there is a listening aspect to it, because you've got your keynote speaker is Alan Dixon, Dr. Alan Dixon from the University of Worcester, who's going to talk about the environmental impact of rubbish. Yeah,
definitely, and we're honoured to have such a keynote speaker involved. So that will be a big part. For people to come and listen to him, and for us to have some more expert knowledge rather than we've got.
And I gather Mtwara isn't going to be forgotten either.
No, we're doing a Skype link with a gentleman called Mr. Bright Masala, who is going to be speaking from Mtwara during this event and telling us about what's going on with regards to their rethinking of rubbish over in Mtwara.
And it's important to remember that we are one world. It's one world link, isn't it?
Yep, and that's where it comes from. Redditch One World Link.
That's right. And sort of rubbish that we throw away, I mean, at the moment, it's being shipped to China or the Philippines or Indonesia. And anything that we throw away, it could be end up in the sea, get washed up on the shores of Mtwara.
Yeah. It's raising, like I said, this is all about raising awareness. This isn't a charity event. We're not promoting it as a charity event. We're promoting it as a raising awareness event, so that everybody just starts to think, instead of looking at a piece of rubbish and going, "Oh, just shove it in the bin." Let's think, what could I do with this? How could I change it?
That's right, and it's open to everyone. You've got some schools involved already, but you'd like. Personally, I would love loads of schools involved. At the moment, we've got a great few. We've got Trinity High School, we've got Hollyoaks, we've got St Luke's, we've got Mount Carmel, and obviously we've got Birchinsale, and Walkwood Middle School. But I would love, if there's anybody listening that is part of a school, please get in contact, because I want you on board. The more children we have on board in Redditch, the more awareness we get out there. And it is about having fun, and I want every single child in Redditch to have a little bit of fun. That's great. And obviously, it's their future as well, isn't it? We're
talking
about.
Yeah, exactly.
And we really do need to rethink rubbish. Yes, definitely. And I don't know about you, but, I've got my recycling bins. I try and recycle as much as possible. It's what happens to it after.
Well, this is a controversy
It
at the
goes
moment,
away.
isn't it? Everyone thinks that they're doing something very good by recycling, but we've all seen the documentaries about where our recycling actually goes. So it's actually, can we do something with our rubbish?
Right. And so just say somebody wants to get in touch, somebody's got an idea. What do they do? How do they get hold of you? And how do they contribute?
Anybody can get in touch with us via our email address. It is Redditch Rubbish at gmail.com. Or you can go to our Facebook page, which is Raoul Redditch One World Link. Either of those, you can get in contact and we will get back to you as soon as possible.
Do you just want to go over those again?
Yep, it is Redditch Rubbish at gmail.com. Or on our Facebook page, it's Raoul Redditch One World Link.
Okay, and the date is October the 19th,
Yep,
2019. It starts at 10 o'clock, finishes at 4 o'clock.
yep,
It's at the town hall,
yep.
And-
You won't be able to miss us.
and everyone is welcome.
Everybody's welcome. You bring everybody. Come and see what's going on. I mean, I'm hoping that a lot of people in the area will have their children's work being shown, or they might be on the fashion runway, or they might have entered the recycling challenge. So I'm hoping that there's a lot of, bring your nan, your granddads, your aunts, your uncles, anybody that's around, bring them along.
All right, sounds fantastic. And I hope, Melanie, that we can get you back in the studio sooner, closer to the event, so that you can tell us how all these ideas have progressed and, everything is in place.
Thank you.
It'd be great to see you again. Now, we're going to break and go to Claire with with our leisure, everything that's happening over the weekend in Redditch. But then I know that Melanie's going to stay with us while we discuss a few news items. Over to you, Claire.
For all the things to do and see this week, it's Claire Bullivant with this week's What's On Guide.
Thanks, Ross. Hello, I'm Claire, and I'm here to give you some fun ideas of things to see and do this coming week in Redditch, Ulster and the surrounding areas. Starting off on Friday, the 26th of July, we've got the fabulous Street Theatre in Redditch Town Centre. It's all happening by St Stephen's Church, happening all day. Circo Rum Baba will be there, Professor Chandler's Punch and Judy, Andy Casserly's Amazing Music School. There'll be balloon modelling, a bouncy castle, Lego. It's all going to be so much fun, and it's all going on the Church Green in Redditch, 11 a.m. until 5 p.m. And it's free, so you can't beat that, can you? And that's on Friday. Also on Friday, and also on Saturday actually, is a free art exhibition happening at Alvechurch Village Hall. This is 100 original paintings created by members of 3 local art groups run by Droitwich artist Pam McGregor. The collection will also feature the entries and winning pictures from a competition where they had to paint pictures based on the 50th anniversary of the moon landing or the 75th anniversary of the D-Day landings. We've got so much amazing local talent, and if you love collecting art, many of the paintings on display will be for sale 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Entry is free on both days, Friday and Saturday, and you can find out more details by visiting pamsartclasses.co.uk. Also on Friday is a treasure-making workshop happening at Forge Mill Needle Museum. 2 sessions here, one at 11:30 a.m. and one at 2:30 p.m. Sounds loads of fun. For the kids especially, get all the info on forgemill.org.uk. For you parents on Friday night, how about testing your brain power? Because it's Ulster Mayor's Summer Quiz Night happening at the Jubilee Centre in Ulster. Teams of up to 6, you can bring your own bottle. 7:30 p.m. start. Email the Mayor on mayor@ulster-tc.gov.uk if you want more information on that. And another nice suggestion I have for Friday night is actually over in Solihull, and it's the Mamma Mia outdoor cinema happening at Tudor Grange Park. B91 3LU is the postcode for your sat-nav. And after the film, there'll be a performance from ABBA tribute band Arrival, who are truly amazing. Get your tickets from tkt.to/Mamma Mia. Moving on to Saturday, the 27th of July, it's the Y-Fest 2019 happening at the Why Not in Redditch. Always great fun there. Lovely pub, lovely people. There'll be also music, food, drink, and it's all raising money for the Primrose Hospice. So it's a great cause. We've just had their band list sent to us. Some great local bands performing. Back in the Game, Insomniacs, Keep Me Posted, Phil Barton will be there, Xavier Reeves, and the Witchwood Folk Rock Group. They're all fantastic. Hope to see you there on Saturday, and it all starts off there at 1 p.m. In the evening, some live music for you. The After Dark Band are putting on a show at the Woodland Cottage in Redditch, and there's also going to be a fabulous Madonna tribute night going on at the Oust House in Redditch on Saturday night. Love it there, and gosh, you can't beat a Madonna tribute night, can you? And if you're after some theatre and comedy, say Heidi Hi and head on over to Ulster, as Redcoats is being performed at the Ulster War Memorial Town Hall. This is a play guiding you through 80 years of Butlin's splendour. It's apparently really funny. More details on micron.org.uk, and Micron is spelled Mikron. Moving on to Sunday, the 28th of July. Remember, it's Studley car boot sale on Sunday morning. A brilliantly run car boot on our doorsteps. B96 6ER is the postcode for your sat-nav. Gates open at 6 a.m. studleycarbootsale.co.uk for all the details on that. Then after you've done your car booting, it's Lego Day at the Forge Mill Needle Museum. There will be Lego enthusiasts showcasing their amazing work there, with hands-on Lego games and activities running all day, 11 a.m. until 4 p.m. And then on Sunday evening, what better way to end the weekend than with Alan's charity quiz night happening at the Bell Inn in Aswabank, 9 p.m. start there. Then next week on Wednesday, the 31st of July, you'll find Bawdsley Abbey is under attack. So can you be around to defend the monks who live there? A trail to help rebuild the Abbey will be sure to entertain the young ones. 11:30 a.m. and 2:30 p.m. sessions. Find out all the details for that on forgemill.org.uk. And those are my top picks of things to see and do this week in our area. If you have something going on, please do let us know and we can help you share it with everyone in town. Back to you in the studio, Ross.
You're listening to the Redditch Standard podcast because you have impeccable taste.
Well, thanks, Claire. Loads going on in Redditch. Once again, it's a never-ending season of entertainment here in Redditch. And finally, we're back in the studio again with Melanie. Hi there, Melanie.
Hello.
And we're just going to chat through a few stories that we've got coming up in this week's paper. And this is an interesting one. I was at full council for my considerable sins. I was at Redditch Borough Full Council on Monday night. And a fairly light agenda had, at the end of it, a bit of a sting in the tail because there's something called a local enterprise partnership, and Redditch sits in two of them. One of them is the Worcestershire Local Enterprise Partnership, and the other one is the Greater Birmingham and Solihull Local Enterprise Partnership. Now, the government, in its wisdom, has said that Redditch must choose between one or the other, and the chances are that they're going to make the ruling for the Borough Council if the Borough Council doesn't make a decision of its own bat. And on Monday night, they decided to side with Greater Birmingham and Solihull, which is interesting because obviously we're in Worcestershire, which is a point that you raised, Melanie, wasn't it? That what are we doing looking to Birmingham when we're actually in Worcestershire?
If our county is Worcestershire, surely we should support our local county, whereas we're not part of the greater city of Birmingham. I just felt that keep to our roots.
Yeah, and that's a fair point. I mean, what was mentioned at the council meeting was that all our transport links head to Birmingham rather than Worcester, and that actually we get much more from the Greater Birmingham Solihull Local Enterprise Partnership, largely because I think their size of the cash is much larger, and so Redditch can do quite well out of it. Whereas compared to Worcestershire, we don't get that much, and I guess money talks in the end.
Yeah, you have to go where the money is, don't you? We need as much, especially in this day and age, with the finances being cut and everything, get everything you can. But then I spoke, half of me is thinking, well, how long is it before boundaries get changed and we lose being part of Worcestershire? Because we're actually on the outskirts, aren't we, really, from Worcestershire? And we start going up into Birmingham, but who knows?
Yeah, it's true enough. Mind you, the green belt around Birmingham is well, it's fairly sacrosanct, I guess. Yes, you don't know how far the conurbation is going to expand. I know that Bromsgrove in particular is said to take a fair number of Birmingham overspill, and Stratford is brace for some, and I know that Redditch will, in all likelihood have to take some Birmingham overspill. But yes, it is a concern. The thing that struck me though was that if business starts going north, what about health? Where at the moment we've got all the, they've got the QE up north, and we've got the Worcestershire Royal, and so yes, there's quite a few implications to this. Who knows? We're going to have to watch this space. Moving on Monday, I was part of a drugs raid, not particularly at my house, but at a house up in Mount Pleasant. Joined the police in a raid on this house, and there inside was about 30 cannabis plants and far more drying out. I was amazed at just how organised these drug growers are, and this is a house in Redditch. Suspect in the front room, and the police just sort of all over the place taking photographs and samples and everything, and it's all part of a crackdown on drugs in Redditch. And on Tuesday they were at it again. They raided a house in Batchley. I don't know if they found anything there, but again my colleague Harry Leach was with that one, and I don't know. Are you concerned about the drug situation, Melanie?
I haven't. I suppose we don't really hear about it. I mean, I was more concerned about the knife crime. That's what you hear about, isn't it? I'm not. I mean, we don't sort of like, obviously being a middle school, it's not something that impacts us. But I've got an older son who's at high school, and I must admit, I do keep him updated, sort of like about drug awareness and everything. But he's never reported back to me anything. But whether we just live in a little closeted environment. I mean, I was obviously around. I mean, when I saw the papers about the drugs raid, I was quite shocked, because it's normally something you see on the TV documentaries. But it's something we've all got to be aware of. That just shows, though, I suppose, that if you don't hear a lot of it, it's been done underhand in a way that is not obvious, which is actually probably more worrying. The fact it's in a street in Mount Pleasant, just in a normal, I presume it was like just a normal urban house. Yeah. Was he just sat in his front room watching TV when they raided? Or
I don't know. I don't know the details of that. But this is part of the local councillors, Greg and Debbie Chance. They raised. There's one of the issues they raised, that the amount of drug abuse going on, and the police have. I wouldn't say necessarily they're responding to what the councillors have said, but this is part of their ongoing crackdown on drugs in Redditch, and we've been told that more raids will be in the pipeline.
I think that's brilliant, though. If whatever the police are doing, obviously they're listening to the local councillors. Like you said, they're not doing it just because of that, but if they've got awareness of it and they're actually carrying out the actions, brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely, and more power to them. And finally, we've picked up a story. A chap came into the office. It's regarding an organisation called Homes England, which is a government organisation, a government department, and they've taken possession of a lot of the old Redditch development land, and they're supposedly going to be selling this land off for possibly development or possibly this, that, and the next thing. And looking at at what they're up to, we noticed that they've got up for auction. Not in Redditch, in Bromsgrove district, but Cheek Bajarwa Redditch, is a parcel of land, 8.5 acres in fact, between Ravensbank Drive in Churchill and Beeley. And this patch of land, it's 8.5 acres, it's going to be going up for sale. And obviously the question is, will it be used for housing development? And I know that, Melanie, you mentioned something about schools, and
I'm just concerned, obviously, as a school teacher, we are increasing. I mean, I've only lived in Redditch 6 years, and I hold my hand up because I bought a new house. But the estate that I live on has grown and grown and grown, and I'm seeing more and more and more and more children coming. But there's no extra schools being added. And like when you hear another parcel of land that could be built on, obviously more children arriving, I'm just thinking, where are these children going to go to school? Somewhere along the line we have to think about new schools being built.
It's the same old infrastructure argument, isn't it? They tend to build the houses and then wait for the doctor's surgeries and the shops and the schools to come
we're
afterwards.
overstretched everywhere, aren't we? I mean, we've got one fantastic hospital that is bursting at the seams, and we keep building more houses. It's not just the schools, it's leisure facilities, it's the green spaces. We're taking up the green spaces and losing the green spaces for the children to go actually out and play. Yeah. Worrying.
I couldn't agree more. Homes England are currently a bit coy with us at the moment, so we're hoping for more details on that story, which hopefully will appear in this week's Redditch Standard. Melanie, thanks for coming in. Our time is up. Fantastic. You just explaining to us what Redditch Recycles Rubbish Expo is all about, and about our links to Mtwara. I know that some visitors from Mtwara were here last year, weren't they?
Yep.
And it's something I think that, we should certainly build more links with, just hands across the ocean, and to get a glimpse of life elsewhere, perhaps a life less privileged than ours. Thanks for coming in, Melanie. My name is Ross Crawford. I'm the editor of the Redditch Standard. You can call me on 01527 588 697 or email me at editor@redditchstandard.co.uk or ross.crawford@bullivantmedia.com. Don't forget to check our website at www.redditchstandard.co.uk. Our thanks to Claire, who's done all our leisure again perfectly this week, and to Melanie for coming in and chatting to us about Redditch Rethinks Rubbish Expo, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.